See.
There have been some interesting developments on intelligence issues really in the last week, and I want to talk to you about those, sir. Today, at midnight, the NSA's bulk data collection of Americans' phone records, that program expired as of midnight this morning, and now the NSA is going to need a court order from a judge to collect records on any American. And again, we're not talking about the content of the phone call. We're simply talking about my phone number called your phone number, and we spoke, or people on those two lines spoke for X number of minutes. What impact do you think that's going to have on our counterterrorism effort?
Chris, I don't think it's too troubling that you would need a court order. I think what's troubling is that you're going to have to go to multiple telecom companies and at their pace search their records, which means it could take weeks. What we saw in Paris once we got a cell phone was that we used that cell phone number to look at cell phones it had talked to, and not only Paris investigators but Belgium investigators were able to expand the search net in a way that stopped a massive terror attack, an additional one in Paris, potentially has led to the apprehension of at least a dozen, if not more, ISIS operatives throughout Belgium, Germany, and parts of Europe. I'm not sure that we know the full extent of what we've learned to this point, but anytime you can take electronics and use those selectors, it's beneficial to the world's intelligence community. And the United States made a real mistake when they eliminated this program, where we could search foreign known terrorist telephone numbers to see if they had talked to anybody in the United States. I think that makes sense to the American people, but Congress took that away from the NSA, and unfortunately it's not going to be a timely tool to use in the future.
Well, let me pick up on that, because you have signed onto legislation that's now in the Senate that would revive the program, which, as I say, ran out as of midnight. But the Senate just voted to end the program in June. So what are the chances that they're going to reverse that just a few months later?
Well, Chris, it's amazing what happens when people are reminded what terrorists can do. It hadn't happened here at home, but I think the American response to the Paris attack was as significant outside of New York and New Jersey as 9/11 was. The American people realized that the indiscriminate brutal acts that ISIS carried out could happen at any community across this country and throughout the world. And I think as Americans, we believe we should do everything we can to eliminate that. Knowing who the terrorists are and where operatives may be in the United States is something Americans expect us to know. They expect us to investigate. And I want to make sure that the tools that law enforcement have are as robust as they possibly can be, and metadata is a big contributor to that.